Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to the Whatukura Podcast, your go-to spot for real talk, fresh ideas, and stories that will inspire you to level up. I'm Tuati, your host, here to vibe with you on chasing dreams, breaking barriers, to celebrating the culture that makes us who we are. We're about keeping it real, having fun, and sparking change. You ready to dive in? Let's make it happen. Kia ora, who have we got here today?
Kia ora, my name's Haami. I'm 16. I work here at Whatukura as an IT technician, systems administrator, and I also do finances as well.
Oh, sweet as. Welcome, Haami. Welcome to the Whatukura Podcast. Could you tell us a little bit about your role in Whatukura and what you actually do?
Yeah, so I do a lot of the computers. I set them all up. I'm working behind the scenes as well, setting up emails, setting up different accounts, and then in the financials as well. I'm doing a lot of our receipts and payments and subscriptions.
Oh, sweet as. So what made you want to get into that area or that niche?
Yeah,
so to say?
good question. What really want to make me get into it? It's probably my uncle actually. My uncle Kalolo. Actually, a lot of talking to him because he does a lot of finances himself.
Oh, really?
He's really into that that technology stuff, and it really just got me into it.
So you learned from him specifically or multiple people?
Multiple people. One of these guys from our church, I learned a lot of the IT stuff from, systems administration, and then a lot of the financials as well, and as well as AI from my uncle.
Oh, sweet as. So would you say you come here early in the mornings? Would you come in a certain points of the day, or do you stay here all day?
So it's usually a 6 o'clock start, and then we're working all the way through the day, and then we finish up at 3. You know.
Oh, sweet as. Okay. So, obviously, are you still in school?
Yes, I am still in school actually.
So how does that work? You working here and going to school too?
So my week usually looks like alternative days. So 3 days actually, 3 days out of my working week, I'll be working here, and then the other 2 I'll be attending school.
Okay. So what do you find harder to deal with? Dealing with exams or having to wake up every morning and come here? Which job's harder?
Man, exams are so much harder.
Oh, for real?
Compared to this, man, oh my gosh. I love working here. It's actually really great. I'd rather wake up every morning at 6 a.m. than do my exams, because, oh my gosh.
So not a big fan of school?
Not a big fan of school. Not a fan of the exams.
Or what's your favourite subject at school?
Oh, favourite subject? It was actually probably engineering, bro.
Engineering?
Engineering, yeah. Loved it there.
Oh, okay. So could you see yourself pursuing a career in that later, or do you see yourself more in the IT space, kind of what you're doing now?
Yeah. I actually really don't know. I feel like for the engineering class, it was more the environment, because I really love my teacher. He was a good teacher. He really built up the space. But pursuing a career, yeah, I think I'd probably go in trades. Probably go into trades.
So working here at Whatukura, obviously you get to interact with a lot of people, a lot of new people come through the course and stuff like that. What's your thoughts on the school system? Kind of how the school system works?
School system. Like I said, I personally don't really like it. If you actually, I watched an interesting on TikTok. It was showing some other stuff 100 years before and 100 years now, showing how advanced they are. And it showed the school system 100 years before. And the school system was, I don't know if you know this, but it was originally made for factory workers. And then so it was showing 100 years before, it was people in the classroom sitting down on desks. It showed the school system 100 years later, it was still people sitting down on desks.
Exact same.
I just really think, man, it is outdated. It's really outdated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, like Whatukura, we work within the trades, right? A lot of people might look down on tradies and be like, oh, getting into the trades is a last resort and stuff like that. Tradies are for people that couldn't make it into university, couldn't qualify for university. What's your take on that point of view?
Yeah, so people that look down on tradies, I think like, man, I think tradies are great. I mean, without them, what would we have? We wouldn't have anything. But then I think one of the greatest things is how people will look down on sort of people that drop out of school to jump into a trade. One of my really good friends, he's really close to me. His brother, who works in a trade, makes more than his dad. And like, man,
Crazy.
it's just he wants to do a trade now because of his brother. I think it's just really great.
That's actually wow.
It's actually
wow.
It is.
It's crazy though, because a lot of people, like, when you go into university, they're expecting a job after
Exactly.
and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Well, what's your thoughts about that?
My thoughts on that. University compared to a trade, I'd say, if you look at it, so you compare the two, so 4 years uni versus 4 years in your apprenticeship. 4 years in your apprenticeship, you're getting, I don't know, $27, $28 an hour. Whereas compared to uni, you're jumping into debt.
Yeah.
And it's, you got a lot of people working 2 jobs, trying to pay off their student debt. Whereas compared to a tradie, you're getting paid to work. It's just, and then after the 4 years, you get your qualifications, you got a steady job, you probably already have a house by that time. Compare it to university, you're drowning in debt. You're working multiple jobs, and that doesn't even, you get your qualifications, but then does that guarantee you a job? No, it doesn't.
That's so true. That's so true. I feel like that's a misconception a lot of, like, especially people our age. Like,
Definitely.
I want to go into university, study to be a doctor, and I want to come out as a doctor where there's like hundreds of thousands of other people going down the exact same path. Hence why it's called the system, or the school system. Crazy about that. Okay, moving on from that, how do you see AI moving into the trade space? Let's go on to like more of a futuristic kind of look.
AI.
Because a lot of people are saying, tradies are going to be taken out by AI and robots and all this kind of stuff. What's your thoughts on that?
So if you actually take AI back into the school system, you see that the school systems tell you, oh, it's bad, you're cheating, that's not how you're supposed to do it. But from here, oh my gosh, AI is a main help, bro. It's amazing. If you're looking at applying it into the actual tradie system, you see these houses. Have you seen those?
No.
Those machines that build houses out of concrete, bro. It's these machines. I don't know where it is, but like, it's got like this machine, and it's like 3D printing a house out of concrete, bro. It's amazing, Jay. It's actually insane.
Actually crazy.
Pretty cool, bro.
I feel like humans and AI, I feel like the school system's totally got it mixed up. AI's, I feel like it's a way to amplify your learning. Sometimes people use it too much and they stop their brain from using its full capacity. But if you actually manage to make a good partnership with AI, it can be so helpful. It can speed things up. I was looking at an article today, and once we integrate AI into trades and stuff, it'll help make measurements more precise, help speed up measurements, blueprints and stuff like that, and overall it'll just make things so much easier.
Exactly.
So you're not like looking at a paper for 5 hours trying to figure out
Exactly.
what's happening. Moving on to the more Whatukura side now, could you just give us a bit of a rundown of what Whatukura is?
What Whatukura is? So from my point of view, Whatukura is a 10-week course. So we'll bring the students in, Waikato Tainui members, bring students in, we'll interview them, but they have to have their family there. So that's one of our key points, is that family is with them. It's really what we push for, actually, is having the family there.
Yeah.
And then once they're interviewed, boom, we get them through. We're pushing, I think it's about 3-4 weeks. We're working with them. We're getting them out to job sites. We're getting them looks at stuff. It's all hands-on. We're out there. When you compare it to some of these other courses, they're stuck in a classroom.
Yeah.
And that's the whole reason they dropped out of school, because they didn't like the bookwork.
Yeah.
Most of them. The ones that I know, they didn't like the bookwork. So if you're putting them back into bookwork, how do you expect them to work?
Exactly.
So that's why we push them out there. We get them out there on site. We're out there working with them. And then once they've seen all that, they move into work experience for the rest of the weeks. They're working out there, and they're getting paid for it too.
You pay for it too.
That's mean.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah. See, with a lot of different courses that, well, you may say are similar to us, they actually really aren't, because, like Wintech, for example, like you go into the engineering or something like that, but sometimes you don't actually come out with a job or an opportunity for an apprenticeship.
Exactly.
See, with us, you're always guaranteed an apprenticeship at the end of the 10 weeks or 10 to 8 weeks or something like that. So I feel like we're not just selling you a dream, we're actually providing you an opportunity to get in and get some mahi and actually come out with some puts here.
Exactly, and it's not just a job. We're getting you a career.
Career, yeah.
See, because with a trade, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go play. See, it's very common with the league players. A lot of the league players over in Oz, they all jump into trades because it's something to fall back on, man. It is mean. It's a great career.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, we're over the duration of the 10 weeks. What's usually your favorite part? What's your favorite part out of the 10 weeks?
Oh man, so for me, it's probably the pastoral care. For those that don't know what pastoral care is, it's where we go out and we visit them while they're doing their work experience or while they're out working.
Yeah,
And we'll go and visit them. So you see what they're up to, see what they're doing, make sure everything's all right. And man, it's just great. It's great to see them again, catch up.
yeah. So like, how many students usually go throughout the 10-week course?
Yeah, so every course, it's usually about 10. It's usually about 10.
10? Usually about 10?
Yeah.
Would you say you get reasonably close to a lot of them?
Oh, definitely. Especially with the time that we have with them,
Yeah.
we get very close to them.
Yeah, so for me, my favourite part, I want to say my favourite part. My favourite part is meeting them at the start and then seeing the finishing result after, shaking their hands as they get their certificate and walk away with a qualification.
Definitely.
They came to us, I won't say nothing, but a lot of them come to us with nothing and they're walking out with an opportunity to have an apprenticeship and start their career. I feel like for me, that's probably the most rewarding part about it.
Yeah, definitely the graduation.
Yeah.
So at the end of the 10 weeks, we have a graduation for our students.
Mm.
And oh my gosh, it's so great. Well, they bring all their family, we'll all have a kai together, we all share it. And then they get their certificates as well. Their employers are there, and they're all there. You see all their family as they walk up, they're smiling, taking photos, man. That's just great. That's great.
It's a great experience. Yeah, because you see them the first day they walk into the office for the interview. Until then, it's such a rewarding moment.
That's very rewarding.
Okay, through your time working through Whatukura, what's the funniest moment that you've had? Or while you're thinking, I'll go first. Probably my funniest moment was when we were at the movement. So usually while they're going through that 10-week course, we're usually part of some kind of physical activity program. So we're not only taking care of their we're like covering all the whole water points, all the 4 points: spiritual, mental, social, physical. So we take them through a bit of like a fitness plan as well. Usually it's through the movement. And there was this one time, one of the boys, he was trying to max out his deadlift, but instead he ended up hurting his back. He got so cocky too. He was so hyped up about it. Went to go pick it up and shucks. It was like, yeah, it was crazy because everyone stopped their workout and they went to go watch him, and I was like, bro, ego lifting to the max. You gotta stop that.
Humble.
You gotta stop that. Stay humble.
Oh, that's great, go. I think one of my funniest moments was probably during pastoral care. Because when we went to visit one of the students out on their site, and he was working out in Raglan, and if you don't know Raglan, oh my gosh, a beautiful beach out there. He was actually right next to the domain. He's working at the holiday camp. Oh my gosh. And me and one of the blokes, when we were out there, oh man, we're about to jump off the bridge for a swim, man. It looked so nice.
Oh, for real?
Yo, it was it was good. It was good.
Okay, could you tell us a little bit about our Whatukura staff? Like, what's their names, and just give a bit of background to them and who they are. Just so, like, when students are looking to come onto Whatukura, they know who to expect.
Okay. Oh, the names. Right. My name is Haami Lawrence. This is Tuati Lawrence.
Tuati Lawrence.
So our CEO, my dad, his name's Stuart Lawrence.
Yeah.
And then we've got our back of office. Her name is Robin Lawrence. That's my mum. And then we've got Shem Taiapa as well. And then we've got Quinton Taiapa. And then we're also taking on some new staff as well.
I feel like the good thing about our staff, like, we have a good mix between our older and younger. So with the students, me and Hami, we both play rugby league. Shem's a bodybuilder. Quinton, he's a retired in New Zealand touch player. So like when younger boys come in, or younger guys, or younger young women, they come in, like we can kind of relate to them because we've been on the same kind of path
I
with
feel
them.
like it's like...
So I feel like that's a good support mechanism because we kind of get where they're coming from and we can relate to them.
Yeah.
And they're young Māori too.
Exactly. I think it's great having young teach young, because like in our church we have a thing called FSY, and then so during it it's a bunch of 21, 22-year-olds they're all helping us out. And man, it's great because you can really get along with them.
Yeah.
Different to how you get along with like an older person,
Yeah, especially sitting in a university and having to listen to, no offense to the university system, but like sitting down with a old guy at the front and he's just talking to everyone and stuff like that. See, with ours, it's actually aroha whanaungatanga, and you get to express yourself and be yourself within the space.
Exactly. It's
You
great.
get to feel safe. Yes, I think that's awesome. Could you talk, obviously, I feel like a lot of people might point at us and say, you got the job because your dad's the CEO, he owns the business. What's your thoughts about people that might say that?
Yeah. I've actually had a lot of that at school. Oh, you're lucky because your dad runs the business, or you had a guaranteed spot. But I actually had to really work for this job. Around about the start of it, I actually didn't even want to work here at all. It wasn't me. I'd rather work at McDonald's, make the same. It's totally different, man. It's amazing. Actually, it's wake up every morning, get myself ready, get to work, get back home, and then work it all in with my school life as well.
That's also good, because for me personally, I also didn't have to I wasn't just given this spot. Like, my dad made me work for it, and he still is making me work for it every day. Like, everyone thinks, especially my mates, they're like, oh, your dad just gave you the job and stuff like that. But my dad's constantly on my case all the time. Like, he's always making sure I'm up to date with everything. So there's a time for him to be my dad, and then there's a time where he's, my boss. So he always keeps me on my case 24/7.
Exactly.
What about you? What was he like? Was dad always on your case too?
Yeah, that's our...
Tell us about that.
Our psychology is, at home, he's our dad. But at work, he's our boss. So I think it really keeps stuff, keeps the family business out of the actual business, It's like, he really keeps on your case about stuff. Yeah.
I feel like that's a really good thing that dad has taught us too, There's a time to be friends, a time to be family, and then there's a time for business. And I feel like that's what's always kept us stable.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Shem and Quinn, they're also brothers, They're brothers, come from the same family. So, a lot of fun and conflict might come in every once in a while, but we've always made sure to stay to the principle. Business is business. Okay, going from mum and dad, what's one good rule, one good lesson that you've been taught by our parents?
One good lesson that's been taught by my parents. Yeah, that's a good question. A good habit that my dad and my mum really pushed was in church we have seminary. So we're waking up early in the morning, going to Bible study, coming back home and then off to work. And it's a really good habit to learn, It really helps you wake up early in the morning. And then especially how you can bring it over to work as well, So if I decide to go and do something else, at least I have the habit of waking up early in the morning, What about yourself?
About myself, one thing Dad has always told me, make your bed in the morning. Make your bed in the morning. That's the first accomplishment of the day. Get that out of the way. So you've actually achieved something. Exactly. But one business tactic my father's taught me is words without actions are nothing. So, business owners or people, they can say a lot, but if they're not acting on it, it just means nothing at the day. It's just words are words. One good thing Mum's taught me is... One good thing Mum has taught me is to be understanding of other people, or I guess every kind of person has a different kind of perspective. So be more open to other people's what is it? Be more open to other people's perspective. My uncle was giving a good lesson in a church class one time the other week, and he was talking about how his daughter was pulling out all these things out of the straw and stuff like that, and he gave her a growling. He was like, hey, stop that, stop that, like, you're being silly. But then his wife was on the side, and she was like, honey, relax, she's just a child. And then for me, when I heard that, I was like, wow, everyone has their own different perspective. So for me, just be more open to people's perspectives. I feel like that's what a mother is really good at teaching.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, final question. What is your favourite part about being part of the Whatukura whānau?
Favourite part? Definitely the environment, bro. The environment's great. I mean, because I wouldn't say we're a small team, but we're not a large one. But we're also, like, I guess, closely knit, So we all really know each other really well. We go along inside and outside of work. I think that's where the connection is. Is that we're not just business partners. We're actually like a family outside as well. All of the stuff.
Yeah, I feel like that's good. We've got a good connection. We've got a good whānau connection. We come to work, we work our hardest, and we help out other tauira, and not just any tauira, our whānau, our Māori whānau, and looking to extend that out more. We also have office here in Hamilton and one in Tamaki Makaurau, just for the reference. But yeah, I feel like doing that, being happy to come to work, and you're getting paid at the same time, I feel like it's quite a blessing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Haami, for jumping onto the show today. It's been a great kōrero, and hope to see you next time.
Thank you for having me.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Whatukura Podcast. Thanks for hanging out with me, Tuati, and being part of the journey. If you're loving the vibe, don't keep it to yourself. Share the podcast with your crew, post it on your socials, and tag us at Whatukura Ltd. Let's spread the word, keep building this amazing community together. Catch you next time. Same place, same energy. Stay inspired.